Brilliance Audio presents To Feel the Music, a songwriter's mission to save high-quality audio, by Neil Young and Phil Baker, performed by Keith Carradine. Music has been one of the great joys of my life. I've performed for more than 50 years and written and recorded scores of albums. I've traveled around the world performing for audiences in dozens of countries. There's nothing as good as a live performance where the music is unfiltered, where it fills the air, reverberates, and is just so pure and organic. Likewise, a great recording that tries to replicate this is also in a class by itself. It's an art form. In the 60s and 70s, advances in audio equipment, high-quality vinyl, and tape recording brought wonderful-sounding music into the home. While not the same as live performances, the sound was an art form unto itself and allowed listeners to enjoy the music, become immersed in it, and be exposed to many of its nuances. Enter the digital age. Yet in the early 80s, instead of audio improving even more, something unexpected occurred. When digital music became available on the compact disc, CD, I got very excited. I thought, finally, no more cracks, no more pops, no more surface noises that had accompanied vinyl records. All the artifacts would be gone. When I went into the studio after making my recordings, I did what I usually did. I cranked up the volume and started mixing, listening to CD quality from my new digital machines. After 3 hours, my ears were killing me. They were ringing and really hurting badly. That was when I first realized that something was wrong. The CD was a brand new format, and because it was new, it was highly promoted and pushed very hard by the music and tech industries. But, convenient as it was inferior to its predecessors, such as vinyl and tape recordings, in terms of audio quality. That was the beginning of a downward spiral, where at each step along the way of supposed progress, quality was compromised for convenience. And from that point to today, we've experienced this degradation over and over. Multiple new formats, each sounding worse than what came before. To me, it simply made no sense. People tend to dislike new formats since they tend to keep buying the same content over and over. But to buy the same content and get something worse? That was terrible. I thought all we really need is one format. And if we have just one format, it should be great. The best it can be. Unfortunately, today, there is no convenient way for the mass audience to purchase the early high-quality recordings that come close to the original performances. Listeners cannot enjoy the history of recorded sound and the magical recordings of the last century at their finest. These high-quality recordings are currently only available to the elite few who pay a premium for their music and have the expensive equipment needed to enjoy it. And because the audience that can afford these recordings is so small, there's only a very limited number of titles available. Instead, the record companies focus on what they can sell. Inferior quality made for cell phones. The acceptance of poor quality ripples through the industry and makes it even more difficult to reverse direction. People get used to hearing this poorer quality, and many never experience what music could sound like. As the demand for high-quality audio diminishes, hardware companies struggle to survive, and artists record at lower quality. When these companies die, there's nothing available to play quality sound. It's a race to the bottom that affects the entire audio industry. Digital quality improves, except audio. The deterioration of quality is not happening with other digital content, only audio. Digital video and imaging have made amazing progress. Films in the theater and images we take with our cameras, and even our phones, are sharper and clearer than ever. Advances such as image and contrast correction take advantage of digital technologies to increase enjoyment and provide the detail and fine nuances otherwise lost. Why can't we say the same about audio? To me, something is wrong. As an artist, I want my fans to experience the same quality that I experience in the studio. I want fans of other artists to be able to do the same. In this age of technology, there is nothing standing in the way of this idea, except greed.